So this video will illustrate how to make a trimmed plate. And when I say trimmed, I mean I kind of trim the edge of the plate before I lift the rim so that all the plates are the same width. Because having a nice matching set of plates is kind of a nice thing. And I was frustrated with the other techniques I was using and what I saw online, so I kind of came up with my own technique. And I got all the tools I use here, but this is one I made. It hooks on to the drip pan, and it cuts or trims the clay right at the same spot every time. So I have a small. I also make a medium and a large plate. So and then the numbers are how many ounces of clay. So I remember 30 ounces there. 40 ounces for the medium, 50 ounces for the large. This is the Kemper RB2. I use that in a little bit. The Kemper RB8 rib, very helpful. And then this is the MKM RH1. That's the name of the handle. And it comes with these different sort of like rollers. And that's how I get the edge design. I'll show you the final product. This is the plate I'm going to like what I'm going to make today. It's a small, so you can kind of see on here that this is about an 8-inch plate, and it came from a 10-inch radius, diameter. Math teacher. Ooh, that's awkward. 10-inch diameter circle. So that's that. And I don't know which way we're looking, but yeah. So this just a little. I don't actually use this ever, but I made it to illustrate kind of like what I was going for here. But a 10-inch diameter will give me an 8-inch plate. 11¼ inch gives me a medium of about 9½ inch plate. And then the large is a 12½ inch diameter, gives me a 10½ inch plate. So that I just made to kind of show. And that also did help me a lot in terms of when I was making the jigs or the trimmers, kind of where I should put that nail in there. So, and it's annoying to hear later. It hits the bat pin, but hey, it's where we're supposed to be. So let me go ahead and get this going so I can show you actually how to use it. So I'm using a black Plastibat, although, oh, and this one's gone off center. That's okay. It'll still work. I did it yesterday with another one with a Masonite bat. Somebody asked a question about that, and worked really well. So 30 ounces of standard 553 clay. So it's what I use for my plates. You do little loafers for the bowls, but I do standard 553 for the plates. When I was doing bowls with it, with my Amico glazes, it pinholed. And so I went to little loafers, and I didn't have anywhere pinholes. Hey, nice and centered. And now I'm just going to start pushing down to make like as if it were going to be a plate. And it went off a little bit there, but that's okay. And I kind of keep the frisbee shape kind of going down, you know, so the top doesn't roll out further than the bottom. And when I get about there, I go and get that Kemper RB8, the big one, and get that wet. And just start pressing gently but firmly. It's a little wobbly there. All good. That might be far enough. Let me check that. Almost. Let's check that. Oh, so close. You can always go a little further. Obviously, you can't go back in. So, and I got to make sure the entire circle's outside. So that should, yeah, that'll do. So once you do that, now I'm just gonna I can't do it this way because it'll mess up the plate. But I'm just gonna put this here and just gently lower that down. But I got to kind of come in actually this way so I don't make the plate go crazy. And I mean, I don't do it super, but see how that's like not a good circle, right? And that's fine because look, I can go like this, nice and slowly in there. And then pull that off. Done with that guy. And if I'm having a good day, it comes off in one piece. And that is just what I'm looking for. Now I can take my sponge, and you can see now it's got a nice circle going there. Just kind of clean up this edge here a little bit. I definitely don't want to push down on the rim too much, because I'm getting ready to make a little teeny bit. Not much. And then just a little bit of moisture there, because I'm going to do this edge design. So that's where this comes in now. Let my hand clean off a little bit. The key with the edge design is the bat has to be moving really slowly. Like slower than you would think. As in, there's no such thing as too slow. Every time I even think I got it slow enough, I was like, oh, that was a little quick. Now I rest the tool against the bat, against the drip pan. And I'm going about 1/4 inch in, and you're just going to press down until it engages. And once it's made one revolution, lift back up. And there's the edge pattern done. Now the RB2, it looks a lot like the RB3. I had to actually look carefully to see which one I had. I didn't know it was an RB2. About that speed. And this is the hardest part of the process, because this is where the bottom of the plate can get a little messed up. And so I'm going to come in about like this. And I don't really pay attention to the little guys like dribbling on there. I'm just going to slowly come in. I'm at about a 40-degree angle, maybe 35-degree angle. And I'm just slowly working my way under the plate, lifting it up. I don't have a set amount that I do this. I just kind of do it till it looks like a plate. I want the rim design to be part of the rim, not part of the plate. So that's probably good, right about there. And then I hold it kind of consistent and stop pushing until I get a nice little, make sure it's all good. And that's a little bit more than I'd like to see on there. It means that that part came out from underneath. But I can take care of that a little bit with a sponge when I come underneath. That'll smooth it out a little bit. But if I get it too wet, it's going to make the rim fall. It actually cracks right where the rim meets the plate. And so I want to go about that far, about that much. Now, I do have to kind of pay attention to get these things off. Yeah, those came off pretty nicely. And then I kind of just crimp the sponge over and just kind of try and stay out of the design. This also, so doing like a couple things here. Giving a slight roll to the edge of the plate. Making sure I like the height, which by now I just have the feel of what it is. You know, plate height. And then it also kind of cleans up any little bits that were kind of hanging on there. So go around a couple times like that. That's looking pretty good. Now, if I want, you certainly don't have to, I'm going to put a little center spiral in. The other plate had one. So just kind of got my finger wet. Kind of go for the center. I'm just going to pull my finger out in a very consistent speed. I can look at the lines to see how I'm doing on the consistency. And then when I get to the edge, just kind of stop. And then those ridges will actually be sharp after bisque firing if I don't come in with a sponge and just kind of knock them down. So I do that out to the edge. And then just work my way back in, pick up any moisture that was there. Oh, I see a big drip on the edge there. I'll do one last little check, since I got that drip there. Do one last little check here, just make sure my plate height is where I want it. It's gone down a little bit because I pushed on it, so I'm going to bring it back up. And nice and slow about that. And then, when it looks like a plate, I know I'm done. So I got that. I'll show you what it looks like this way. So, looks about like that. So that's about what I'm looking for. Now I'm going to let that dry. I'm not going to run a wire under it yet. I'll let that dry for an hour or two. Then I'll run a wire under it. And then when it's leather hard, I'll go ahead and take it off. I don't let it pop off because I like to trim the bottom. I'll do another video at some point if somebody wants to see that, about trimming the bottom, and very minimal trimming. And I put my name on the bottom too. So, but yeah, there's a plate. So feel free to use that technique. Some other people I shared with said they liked it, so I thought I'd share it here.